Yeah, let's actually just highlight that quickly because from a data guy, when you see two different countries separated by an ocean that have a lot of fundamental differences, even though they're both G7, and you see a similar number of standard deviations like that, how does that make you feel?
Oh, first of all, for those in the audience who don't understand what standard deviation is, it's a probability distribution curve, and a 3 standard deviation event is what we call a tail event, and it happens 0.03% of the time. And on Wall Street, that's a big deal. 3, just 3. All you need is 3, and guys on Wall Street start to worry. Well, this work absence and work time lost is 12 and 13 standard deviations in the UK and US in 2022. That's a black swan event. I mean, that just boggles the mind. This deviation from trend and happening in both countries simultaneously is a signal. And again, using deductive reasoning and simple logic, this trend started in 2021 and accelerated in 2022. So you have to ask yourself, what changed in 2021? Well, mass vaccination programs and mandates in the US. So unless someone has a better explanation, it needs to be investigated, but it doesn't seem to be even acknowledged or that statistic even being talked about by the governments. I mean, the numbers are just there in the US Bureau of Labor Statistics and the UK ONS data. It's just there.
And so while we're here, and for people that might not know the entire background, do you want to talk about the excess deaths and the way that you've tracked this and what the book is really about and the cost of the economy? I think you had made it an estimated $147 billion in damage, and just kind of those assertions, because I think those missing work numbers, they kind of roll off of that from your research.
Yeah, correct. So, the journey I began was just following some trends, and some of the earliest trends were excess deaths. They started showing up in the insurance company results in 2021, funeral home results, meaning funeral home companies were beating and raising earnings. And while the management teams were they were legitimately expecting after the first wave of COVID to go back to normal trend, but it didn't. And they started to become growth companies, which again, we should be asking ourselves, why are funeral home companies growth stocks again? So those two trends led me to other databases like the CDC, the Society of Actuaries. And what we found is there was a mix shift from old to young. So during 2020, there were excess deaths, but they're mostly old. It became established fact that COVID mostly affected older folks with comorbidities. Well, then suddenly in 2021, excess deaths took off, especially in the working population, more so than the general population. And that was proven in my book, and it's continued to this day. The Society of Actuaries just released their 2022 report, and young folks are continuing to die in their group life business in the millennial age group, 12% more than the general US population. So again, whatever's happening is affecting the working folks in all countries across the Western nations. So that's something that needs to be investigated. It's not normal, and it's flipped. It's a relationship that it never held before. In fact, the Society of Actuaries had proven in a study in 2016, which I QR code in my book, that their business is a good business. They determined that group life policyholders die normally at 1/3 the rate of the general U.S. population in any given year. And that all flipped in 2021. There was an 8% differential, 40% excess deaths between 25 and 64 in group life versus 32% in the general U.S. population in 2021. So excess deaths have come down since then, but they're still high for the working folks. And that continues. We're running now between 15 and 20% excess deaths across all Western nations right now.
That's extremely high.
10% is a once in a 200-year flood, according to Scott Davison at One America. He said that in January of 2022. So statistically, 10% is crazy. That's 3 standard deviations. 40% is off the charts. That's what happened in 21. And 20% is an abomination. And unfortunately, the trend into 2023 doesn't seem to be normalizing yet. It's still running quite high, especially in group life. And group life for me is the smoking gun because these are the people that work at the Fortune 500 mid-sized companies who are basically mandated.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, got to do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.